So Shockwave 30 starts with the gong. And we're taken to an Undertaker promo. And Taker's in the back. He's in this area, dark. You see him with his cloak on. And this is what he has to say. Last week, you witnessed what my acolytes, Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor, are capable of. That was only the beginning. A shadow looms over NGW, and those who haven't learned to be cautious of it will rest in peace. So that's Undertaker's message for the NGW universe. The Ministry of Darkness is in full shape. So the new acolytes. The new Acolyte tag team is the Fiend Bray Wyatt and the Demon Finn Balor. You already know what I gotta do for every single one of my matches. What's that? Oh, Nibbler off work. And welcome to NGW Shockwave. And my God, The Undertaker. The Undertaker. We haven't seen him in months. And he's back with the Ministry. Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt destroyed Kofi, Rey Fenix. And they destroyed the tag team champions Sheamus and Cesaro. I don't know what Undertaker has in store for NGW, but I am not looking forward to it. I do polls for the pay-per-views, yes. The pay-per-views will always have the poll. You can do polls for the community points. And here we go, the first match of the night. Shawn Michaels of The Clique. Remember, the band got back together 3 to 4 weeks ago. I don't remember. My memory is really bad. The band got back together, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and Razor Ramon, The Clique. And they allied because they have common enemies and Disrespected No More, Tyler Bate, Drew McIntyre, and Shawn Michaels. And tonight, the main event, Cedric Alexander, the leader of Disrespected No More, he defends his television championship against Triple H. And the NGW set of stipulations for these matches. The winners of HBK versus Tyler Bate and Razor Ramon versus Drew McIntyre, they get to join their person at ringside.
One of the greatest performers in the history of WWE. A little off topic here, but with the New Year
and Michaels is energized. Dude, you guys have got to try this pose if you haven't. You want to know how good Shawn Michaels is? He makes that pose look so easy. Have you guys ever tried doing that? If you're not like a diehard workout person, it's difficult to maintain your posture and your core doing that. I can do it, but my knees fucking cry every time I do it. And the fact that Michaels is able to just do it and pop right back up, no problems, blows my mind. No, it's not easy to maintain your balance. I'm talking like Michaels does it and jumps right back up. You the amount of balance you have to maintain that position for as long as he does and get back to your feet without hurting any part of your body. It's kind of dope. And Tyler Bate, no one a fan of Tyler Bate in NGW after he joined Disrespected No More. Because remember, Michaels used to get fucking low with it. He would get low with it and hold it for the duration of his pyro. Disrespected No More. Maybe he does. If he does, that makes him even better because you can never tell. Michaels, my favorite wrestler of all time is Terry Funk, but Michaels, I think, belongs in the conversation of greatest of all time. He might be the greatest wrestler to ever get in the ring. Just the things that Michaels could do that, as a fan, as a kid growing up, I didn't think anything of it, but when I go back and watch him now, it's like, my God, he made that look so easy. Another thing that he does, you know how Michaels gets whipped to the turnbuckle, and he does that thing where he flips over the top rope and lands on the apron, or also flips and lands on his back? That's not easy to do, and Michaels made that look like just a regular move. Michaels with a hammerlock on Tyler Bate, and he follows up with a drop kick, flooring Tyler Bate to the canvas. This is personal between Michaels and Tyler Bate. And dude, yeah, Flair's, that's why those two guys are in the conversation and Flair for different reasons. What I liked about Flair, man, is, my God, Flair could get heat like no other, and he would make any wrestler that got in the ring with him look like $1 million. But my top 5 wrestlers are CM Punk. Well, number 1's Terry Funk. Terry Funk's always going to be my favorite wrestler of all time. Terry Funk, CM Punk, probably my list changes all the time because I watch a lot of wrestling when I'm not streaming, and depending on what I watch, my favorite wrestler changes. So right now my top 5 is Terry Funk, CM Punk, Vader, Toshiaki Kawada, and Manami Toyota. That's my current top 5. Bret Hart usually gets in that list because I'm a big fan of Bret Hart as well. But I've been watching All Japan Women on YouTube again. And I mean, dude, Manami Toyota was doing shit that wrestlers today can't even do. All Japan Women is as good as any promotion now. And that promotion was in the early 90s. The kind of wrestling that they were putting on holds, and Craig, we've watched All Japan Women together. The kind of wrestling All Japan Women's putting on is on par with pretty much anything that's happening on TV right now. Have I seen Yokozuna Mr. Fuji matches? Yes, Yokozuna was a big guy who moved like he was 300 pounds lighter than what he actually was. And that scything chop from HBK to Tyler. Tyler collapsed into the canvas. Yokozuna is a big man wrestler that I don't think gets a lot of credit for being as good as he is, because when you think about his track record, he had that bonsai drop. I don't think he ever hurt a single wrestler doing that. Not to mention that he would do leg drops. Yokozuna, all of Yokozuna's offense looked like it hurt, but he never hurt anybody. And he could move. He could get around in that ring. Yokozuna is definitely a guy that I don't think gets appreciated enough. Unfortunately, as Yokozuna got older, I mean, as time went on and Yokozuna got heavier, his in-ring wasn't as good, and it was very, it was noticeable. But yeah, Yokozuna at 94, 93, Yokozuna was getting it done. And Tyler Bate in control of this match, but Shawn Michaels counters with the fireman's carry. And there's a stiff punch from Michaels. And that match, that tag team match from Shockwave last week, or 2 weeks ago, rather, ended in disqualification. Razor Ramon and Drew, Razor Ramon taking this personal. Zack Ryder's the radio. I'll tell you what I used to fuck with, though, for real. I used to love True, True Long Island, oh my God. I just butchered the whole name. True Long Island Story. I used to love watching that on YouTube. It was very entertaining. And they're switching pins here. They're trading pins. Tyler Bate, a technical master, but Shawn Michaels should not be scoffed at. Yeah, I know what you mean, man. That would have been cool. And there's a strike. I did not like Hype Bros, not a fan. And there's a chop from Michaels, dropping Tyler Bate to the canvas. And Michaels, he's got that foot primed. I think we're going to see some sweet chin music. He's tuning up the band, and he catches Tyler Bate flush and collapses on top for the pin. 1, 2, 3. No, Tyler Bate gets a shoulder up. This is why Disrespected No More needs to get this is why they need the credit. This is why they have the credit they deserve. They are tough. Tyler Bate withstanding a super kick. Find a step up into Guri, but before that, the Kid Mike 522 has joined the Bad Guy Club. As the newest member of the club, you receive a pair of sunglasses, a switchblade, and a leather jacket. So thank you for joining the Baddest Club on Twitch TV. And remember to stay bad, because being bad is fun. And there's Shawn Michaels with a swinging neck breaker on Tyler Bate. Oh, not this. Tyler Bate hulking up. Tyler Bate hulking up. But Shawn Michaels meets him with a snap suplex. Bate, the Disrespected No More, they call themselves the Wolf Pack. They call themselves a pack of wolves who will stop at nothing. Who will stop at nothing to be at the top. And right now, Cedric Alexander is the new TV champion, defending it tonight against Triple H, the number 5 ranked wrestler in NGW. So I hate to say it, but their methods have paid off. I'm not a fan of their actions. I'm not a fan of the decisions that Cedric has made, but it's paid off. The new NGW champion, Tyler Bate, in this ring with Shawn Michaels. This all happened since forming the Disrespected No More. Was it the Wolfpack? Yes, they were. Red and black. Red and black NWO. Don't turn your back on the Wolfpack. Cuss charisma, you might end up in a body bag. Boom, 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 boom. I got in trouble. I was in 4th grade when that group formed, and I got in trouble because our school, this is how popular wrestling was when I was a kid. Everyone in school watched it for the most part, but our school had a strict no wrestling. You couldn't, we used to play wrestle during recess. You couldn't do that. You couldn't wear wrestling shirts at school. You couldn't even really talk about wrestling. And I got in trouble because sure enough, in one of the classes, I did the don't turn your back on the wolf pack. You might wind up in a body bag. And I got yelled at. Shawn Michaels beats Tyler Bate. And Shawn Michaels advances to the NGW, or he advances to, he gets to be in Triple H's corner at ringside. Oh, do you remember the Gore story? You guys don't know about the Gore story. Let me tell you about this story. And Nibbler, it's been ages since I've told it, so I don't remember it as well as I did when I told you guys the first time. So do forgive me. Do forgive me. No, I think it was more that our school was just like anti-violence. And so the fact that I said something about body bag. So in middle school, we used to have this cool guidance counselor. Tyler Bate is, Tyler Bate can't get a win. Tyler Bate's 1-4. Okay, let me tell this story real quick because this is kind of funny. Okay. In middle school, when I got to middle school, I was still a pro wrestling fan, and pro wrestling was arguably at its peak popularity because we're talking WrestleMania 17 happened the year that I was in 6th grade. And that's the biggest WrestleMania of all time. That, to me, in my opinion, that's the best WrestleMania of all time. It's the best one ever. It had the best stories, the best matches. It was a swan song of the Attitude Era. It was at its peak. It was at its peak. We had this guidance counselor who was kind of in his last year of teaching or of being, because he was retiring that year. And he was just like, hey, man, like, as long as you don't hurt each other, do whatever. So he understood we couldn't wrestle in middle school, but he had to come out and watch all of us in the playground once. And he understood that there was a group of us who liked wrestling. And that we had our own like recess wrestling promotion where we had storylines. We cut promos. We wrestled each other, but we didn't hurt each other. You know, we would fake hit, fake moves, whatever. And he was like, okay, well, how about this? You guys that wrestle, you wrestlers, you guys wrestle over here in this area. And you guys can have this area. You keep all that wrestling stuff here. And I'll let you guys do it. No one gets in trouble. But I want everyone to understand, because there were always these kids who would make fun of us for being wrestling fans. And they would come over like, oh, yeah, hit him. Get the Stone Cold Stunner, whatever. And the counselor was like, I'm going to let you guys know now. If you guys are over here in this area, you're part of the wrestling group. So if you don't want to wrestle, don't be over here. So we're cool, we're hyped, and we're wrestling, we're doing our storylines and shit. And of course, those kids, they're, yeah, hit him with the steel chair. So my ass literally gores one of the cats. Like, I'm talking full force, run into him, spear, double leg, drop him. And my buddy at the time, Sean Burden, he sees this, and remember, Rhino's move was the gore, and Paul Heyman would scream gore on commentary. So when I hit this kid, I put everything into it. I charge into him, bop, shoulder first, grab those legs and drop him. And my buddy Shawn, he goes, Gar! Just screams it, dude. Oh, it was hype, man. It was so hype. All right, now back to the show. So we have HBK beating Tyler Bate. We get a replay of the Kenny Omega, Johnny Gargano Zero Gravity match, but the bigger focus is that Bobby Lashley showed up after the match and got in Kenny Omega's face, and we're announcing right here, right now, that Bobby Lashley will be in the Battlefield Battle Royal, and that takes us to our next match of Bianca Belair versus Nia Jax. I do not feel bad about tackling that kid. That was story time with Uncle Maddox. Yes, they wouldn't let, when I was a kid in elementary school, that's like, you have to understand, wrestling, it's a combination of two things. Like, society's changed so much over, the last 2 decades, And pro wrestling's also not what it was. I think pro wrestling's I think most people view pro wrestling as something that kids watch, right? So, like, I feel like if you're a kid and you have a John Cena shirt on at school, you're probably not going to get in trouble. But when I was a kid, we're talking the Attitude Era, where wrestling was definitely aimed toward a more adult audience. So, yeah, you couldn't wear Stone Cold Steve Austin 316. You couldn't wear a shirt like that to school. You had to wear it inside out. Any shirt that had a wrestler in their tights where they weren't wearing a shirt or jeans, you had to turn inside out. So, and I had wrestling shirts. I had Goldberg shirts. I had Austin shirts. I had a couple of Rock shirts. I couldn't wear any of them in school. And we couldn't wrestle. We were called WWFers. That's what in middle school, when they stopped letting us wrestle, that's what the teachers called us. They called, "You WWFers, stop! No more of that WWF nonsense!" That was an accurate rendition of their voice, by the way. They were these old crotchety women who would watch us during recess, and they would literally shout like that. "I don't want to see any of you WWFers over here hurting each other." True stories. Yes, that's what they refer to us as, WWFers. Oh God, man, good times. What's going on, Super Mario? You're allowed to see. It's different. It's different. You guys, okay? Like seriously, I'm 32 years old, guys. Okay, don't remind me how old I am. God darn it, I'm 32 years old. Do you know what year it was when I was in middle school, dude? I was in 6th grade. In 2000, okay? I was in middle school in the year 2000. I'm old. And Nia Jax. Bianca Belair, though, taking back control of Nia. And a nice suplex dropping Nia Jax face first. Bianca Belair not able to get things rolling here in NGW so far. She's had a couple of wins, but she's definitely lost more than she's won. But that's okay. Bianca can turn it around. Bianca Belair can win that Battlefield Battle Royal. We don't know if she's in it or not. We don't know the full list of participants. But if she's in that match, she has a chance. She has a chance to get a title shot, but a powerbomb from Nia Jax, brutal. And there's a punch that Bianca Belair ducks under. You're in the 6th grade at the turn of wrestling from the 1990s. Yes. And okay, I'm this young. There were 5, maybe 4 wrestling promotions on TV when I was a kid in the 90s. I don't know if I don't know if you had the same shows, but when I was a kid, it was obviously Nitro and Monday Night Raw on Mondays. This was before SmackDown. Or Thunder. There was Nitro and Raw on Mondays, and then Saturdays at 5 p.m. it was ECW. And then at 6 p.m., it was Memphis Championship Wrestling. And I watched all 4 of those shows. Goes without saying. And I used to get annoyed. I really loved WCW, especially when they would bring in guys from New Japan, because I wanted to watch those guys so bad. There was just no way. There was no way to really watch that stuff. The only way you could really, see what was going on in the wrestling world was the magazines. And I didn't have my own money. I couldn't ask my mom to buy me a pro wrestling magazine every month, but I would get them occasionally and they would show you stuff I remember seeing photos of a barbed wire match in Japan between Atsushi Onita and Terry Funk. And at the time, I obviously didn't know I knew who Terry Funk was because he was Chainsaw Charlie in WWF. But I remember looking at those photos thinking like, my God, they're wrestling in barbed wire. How insane is that? As a kid, I was just reading this stuff, just like, wow, this is crazy. Who was your favorite ECW wrestler? Taz and Rob Van Dam and Super Crazy. I thought all 3 of those guys were fire. I also like 911 a lot. I have no idea how old Teddy Long is. And Nia Jax firing off with those headbutts. Craig says, I saw Nitro Raw. Oh, yes, the mothership. WCW Saturday Night. How could I forget about that? That was the Nitro before Nitro. That used to be their only that was their main show for a while, Saturday night. Yeah, Terry Funk was Chainsaw Charlie. Bianca Belair with the DDT. And Bianca Belair just little cocky there. Mario, I have yet to listen to that song, and I apologize greatly, my man. And Bianca has Nia Jax on those ropes. And again, if going back to the Battlefield Battle Royal, if Nia Jax is in that Battle Royal, you got to think she's an odds-on favorite. It's good. She's going to have a lot of eliminations. It's going to be hard to get her out of the ring, but Bianca Belair showing her strength, picking up Nia Jax on the shoulders with a torture rack. But she has to let it go. Why are you posting that, Walkman? Explain why you keep posting that. And a suplex dropping Nia Jax face first. Bianca Belair cranking that. Sabu was dangerous. I thought Sabu was nuts as a kid. What's up, Miss Shorties? How you living, girl? I thought Sabu was nuts as a kid. I enjoyed him. But that dude, you got to think, back then, people weren't just routinely jumping off scaffolding and balconies. And the first time I saw Sabu was on Monday Night Raw when they did that, when they did like the ECW invasion back in like 96 or 97. That dude jumped off the fucking set. And I just thought, like, what the hell is this guy? This guy's nuts. And Bianca Belair kicking out of that pin. I remember he'd always backflip through a table. Always. And I never got it. At the end of ECW shows, he would backflip, he would climb the top ropes and do a moonsault through a table. Back first. Back first going through the table. It's just the damnedest thing. The 2001 Christian Titan. I guess I got to take a look at this. Is that the one where he's all smiles? When he was with DDP? Nia Jax going for a cover. But Bianca Belair able to just kick out. Yeah, especially ECW, because the one between Sandman and Sabu, they didn't even gimmick the barbed wire. So they had barbs in their skin, dude. And a Samoan drop from the middle rope earns Nia Jax the victory tonight. Bianca Belair just cannot figure out, cannot put it together to pick up a win, to pick up any momentum. But Nia Jax going 2-1 in action. Bianca Belair is 1-3. Ooh, not looking good. Walkman, relax with that bad guy 6 dimes, man. Relax with that. This is definitely not the pay-per-view. I've been advertising the pay-per-view. Christian, at last, you're on your own. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Okay, after the match. So after this match is over, we get a little video package. No, we don't, because I just took her out of the Battle Royal. I was going to say Ronda Rousey is announced for the Battle Royal, but I think I just took her out. Let me double check. Because if she's out, we're going to replace her with someone else. Okay, this is who we're going to replace her with. Boom, 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 boom. We already had Shayna Baszler announce that she was in the Battle Royal. Yeah, this is a good one. This is a good announcement. We get a little package playing. It's Sasha Banks music. We haven't seen Sasha Banks since that cage match, but it's announced that Sasha Banks will be in the Battlefield Battle Royal. And that takes us to our next match tonight. Drew McIntyre versus the bad guy, Razor Ramon. And how about that, folks? Sasha Banks in the Battlefield Battle Royal. Braun Strowman cannot be in the Battle Royal. I already told you guys that anyone who picks a new wrestler that's already been in this universe, their new wrestlers won't take effect until after Battlefield. And there's the other third. There's the other member of Disrespected No More, Drew McIntyre. And I told you that a match between him and Razor would be money. And we're going to see it tonight. These two big behemoths it's good. I don't know if we can contain these two in the same ring tonight.
Making his way to the ring.
All right, Walkman, I've warned you once about spamming that. This is your final warning. No, Witch Doctor, it's the main event tonight, man. Did you ever play Valhalla? I have it for Xbox One or Xbox Series X. I have not played it, unfortunately. And Super Mario Dinosaurs, I'm so sorry. I did not read your message. That Christian theme sounded like Bohemian Rhapsody. It does, doesn't it? A little bit. No, okay, let's talk. You want to talk about interesting Titantrons? Go look up the David Flair Titantron. And I'm going to tell you right now that is legit. That's a legit Titantron, by the way. It's all good, Walkman. And Drew getting ready for the bad guy. Dude, I'll tell you what. I would love for these two to feud over the world title in NGW. Here, you know what? I'm going to give them a Jim Ross endorsement. I have a feeling. I have a strong feeling that many roads down, we're going to see these two, Razor Ramon and Drew McIntyre, vie for that world championship. It was really a nod to Atsushi Onita, is what I assume. Craig, because that's what Atsushi Onita used to come out to. So that's my guess. I liked it though. I thought it was a good shakeup. I really got into that entrance. Your favorite Titantron is Stone Cold? So who won from Shawn? Shawn won, but I just realized I can't edit matches like I can't. You can't edit universe matches, so I can't even put them in the. Well, actually, you know what? We're gonna have to use our imagination tonight, guys. The key word tonight is imagination. Use your imagination and let's just pretend. Let's just assume that Shawn Michaels will be joining Triple H at ringside. You two, yeah, take care, Walkman. Razor. Use your imagination.
Drew McIntyre has been waiting for this moment all day. Every match is
And Drew with a kick to the midsection and a shoulder tackle, bringing Razor to the floor. Yeah, I read that. I actually read that on Fightful Select. And Meltzer also confirmed it for Wrestling Observer that Zelina was filmed with Simone Johnson at the Performance Center. I have no real thoughts on it at all. Good for her. If she's going back, good for her. WWE is going to be touring in July, I believe. You have to think, like, it's easy to be married in the pro wrestling industry right now because everyone's stationary. But once people start touring, man, if you work for this company and your significant other works for that company, it's going to be rough again. And I imagine that, like, if you're Aleister Black, if you're Zelina Vega, that's one less strain you have to worry about, being able to travel together again. And Drew with an overhead belly-to-belly suplex. You know what? You can say that about Dave Meltzer, and I see a lot of people say that, but no one has appreciation for the history of pro wrestling in the sense that Dave Meltzer does. I will always have a Wrestling Observer subscription because his context and his historical context and his appreciation and coverage over the entire world of wrestling, it's uncompared. It's uncompared. There is no other publication that's going to give you the information about international wrestling in the same sense that Meltzer does. And his write-ups, like when who passed away? Oh God, the Destroyer. The Destroyer. When he passed away, Dave Meltzer had an incredible write-up about him. And when I read that, that's when I just remember reading the thing and this is why I fuck with Dave Meltzer. I feel like most people who have an issue with Meltzer have never actually read anything. They just read, they basically just read rehashes. They read copy-paste jobs that other online websites post. or they just don't like his opinions on pro wrestling. But that's the thing about opinions. Everyone has a different opinion. But in terms of his written work and his extensive coverage, he's second to none. He's my favorite. He's my favorite pro wrestling journalist. WWE hasn't had a 5-star match in years. Well, yeah, they have, because NXT, right? I do not count those as two separate promotions. NXT has had multiple 5-star matches.
He's not going to like this.
And again, the star system is all preference based. It's just that it's Dave Meltzer's opinion. You really can't shit on anybody. You can't shit on Meltzer about his ratings because they're his opinion. He doesn't like. Meltzer will be the first to tell you. No, I don't think the women's Iron Man match was, actually. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. I think it was 4.5 or 4.25. Meltzer will be the first to tell you that his ratings are they take up very little space in his observer. Like that's not even like a big focus. I think I don't know why people get attached to those things. But no, the women's Iron Man match was not rated 5 stars in Wrestling Observer. As a matter of fact, the NXT matches that I believe are 5 stars are the North American ladder match, Gargano Ciampa street fight, I believe got it. Cole and Gargano got it. Who else? Walter and Ilya Dragunov got it. I can't remember what else off the top of my head. There's one more. I feel like there's one more from NXT. It's probably not important, though. Not important. Hey, the Triple J has joined the Bad Guy Club. That's actually 9 J's. As the newest member of the Bad Guy Club, you receive a pair of sunglasses, a switchblade, and a leather jacket. Thank you for joining the Baddest Club on Twitch TV. And remember to stay bad, because being bad is fun. Walter and Tyler Bate. Thank you, Womble. Yeah, those are. I forgot about that, too. Gargano and Almas also got 5. Those are the most recent matches from NXT. I think that's everything. I'm pretty sure the last match from like WWE that's not NXT would be what? Cena, Punk, Money in the Bank. So 10 years. If you're not counting NXT, I don't know why you wouldn't count NXT though. They're under the same umbrella. Those are WWE shows. Those are WWE produced shows. Maddox, does Dave like AEW? I think he's rooting for them. And I think he thinks that they do things well, and they do. And there's things that they don't do well, you know? Yeah, absolutely, Triple J, you can pick a wrestler. You didn't have to ask. Welcome to the stream, buddy. I don't think Bayley has a 5-star match on the Wrestling Observer. I don't think any of the NXT women do. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that I'm not. Sometimes when I smoke some of the Street Profits, I like to pull up the list of ratings and see if I can find those matches to watch online. Now, my personal picks, if I was doing my own personal 5s, the last man standing match between Charlotte and Becky would certainly be 5-star. That's one of WWE's best matches. Yes, you can pick Baron Corbin. Absolutely. Sean Ross Sapp is really good. I think Sean Ross Sapp is a little bit more tapped into the locker room than Dave Meltzer is. But because they want the smoke. Womble. I just prefer Meltzer. The other guys don't understand the larger world of wrestling in the same way that Meltzer does, in my opinion. I'm definitely not going to go to Sean Ross Sapp for like Mexican wrestling coverage at all. I'm either going to go to Lucha Blog or I'm going to read Meltzer's write-ups. And Razor, he's got McIntyre up. Razor's edge for McIntyre. And he plants him. Yes, on NXT TV, you're right. You're right. On NXT TV, that match between Mustache Mountain and Undisputed Era got 5. And Drew kicking out at 2. I thought that was it. And look at them, they're trading chops, but Drew reverses with an elbow and a clothesline. Razor counters with an STO. Welcome back, Key. And a brutal clothesline that takes Razor's head off. And Drew going back to work. Yeah, Super Mario, I'm going to have to message you over the weekend, I think. What's up, Tatton? And a sit-out powerbomb from Drew. So, Triple J, you want Baron Corbin. I'm going to let you know now, you're probably not going to be on the show until Tuesday. By the way, guys, one more reminder, because I know I've said it a lot. We will be doing an interactive UFC promotion on Sundays. So message me on Discord or whisper me on Twitch. You can pick one male fighter and one female fighter. Yeah, All Japan Women might be the promotion with the most 5-star matches, if I'm not mistaken. It's either New Japan or it's All Japan Women. I don't think All Japan Pro is quite there yet. And All Japan might. There were a lot of tag matches that got 5 stars. I'd have to go back and think. I'd have to look. Just message me. Message me on Discord with who you want. And a brutal belly-to-belly overhead suplex from McIntyre. Baron Corbin is taken by 9J. 9J wants Baron Corbin. Tatton, how you doing? Or can I just call you Tat? Or is there a better name that I can call you? And Razor with that vicious chokeslam pitting Drew again. This might be it. And Drew still kicking out at 2. What is it going to take to put the Scottish psychopath out? And they're face to face. Razor, that's what it's going to take. A third Razor's Edge. Drew playing it on the canvas. Razor needs to pick up the pin here. Dragging Drew to the center of the ring where he goes for that pinfall leg hook. Referee with a pin. Razor is going to join Triple H at ringside. Yes! Disrespected no more, got swept in these matches. These two would make a powerhouse tag team. Razor Ramon is now 5-4.
This is how you contain a Scottish psychopath.
5-4. So Razor and Shawn Michaels will be in Triple H's corner. They will be in Triple H's corner for this title match tonight. Drew McIntyre, 0-2. Well, Drew has a win in tag team action. I am too dumb for you says he's proud of the boys. He's proud of his disrespected boys. How can you blame him? How can you blame him? So what happens is Razor and Drew McIntyre, they're not done. They start fighting all over the ring. These two, like I said, I'm building up toward a feud between McIntyre and Razor. They keep fighting. McIntyre and Razor are fighting everywhere. Referees run out, break them up. They can't keep these two contained. They eventually brawl to the back, and that leads us to our next match. Trish Stratus versus Michelle McCool. What's up, Radio Smooth? How you living, boy? Yeah. Walter, I called that one. I do remember that getting fired. I think that's the most recent NXT match. How you doing, man? We're doing well in here. Yeah, like I said, Annika, All Japan Women's is probably the greatest promotion of all time. It's probably my pick for number 1. But there's a lot to cover. You have All Japan Women's. You have Ring of Honor in the early 2000s, which I'm telling you guys right now, if you've never seen Ring of Honor from 2000 to 2008, one of the best promotions of all time. Radio Smooth has joined the Bad Guy Club. As the newest member of the club, you receive a pair of sunglasses, a switchblade, and a leather jacket. So thank you for joining the Baddest Club on Twitch TV. And remember to stay bad, because being bad is fun. Everybody, welcome Radio Smooth to the stream.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring.
Yeah, I saw the messages, Mark. I see all these messages. I'm just not going to reply to them right now. What's Danny? Is that my guy, Danny 7296? I've not seen you since 2015, man. How have you been doing, big homie? You still a big fan of the Metro games? There's your 2 sweets move. Trish Stratus. God, this watermelon water, Jesus, heavenly. Jesus Christ, that's how this hair looks in this game. Michelle McCool was gorgeous, by the way, and still is gorgeous for that matter. I like LayCool. I didn't like how they did LayCool and Mickie James, but I thought they were a cool little heel unit, and they were certainly entertaining. Michelle McCool, I think, is 1-1 in NGW. Let me refer to my record book to take a reference. Still a huge fan of the retro games. That's good to hear, man. I'm glad to see you, man. I hope I see you more often. Yeah, Michelle McCool's 1-0 and Trish Stratus is 1-0. Big win, big match here, guys. This is a big match. This is between Axel Gamer and our very own Rain. Make it. Man, Rain, I've been meaning to ask you, is your name in reference to Okada? Or am I just like reading into that? Because when I first saw it, I was like Rainmaker. And I was like, no, that's a T. Maybe he meant to type R and mistyped. Hair designs in this game is awful, Queen. Yeah, really bad. LayCool was entertaining. And I also like that Tornado Tag Tables match that LayCool had with Natalya and Beth Phoenix at TLC. I don't know what year. I don't know about year. All right, Leroy, you take care, man. I will see you Sunday, hopefully. It was supposed to be Rainmaker. Well, GD, son.
Trish Stratus, clearly the picture of poise and preparedness.
Michelle McCool running into a clothesline from Trish Stratus to start the match off. And a neck crank from Trish. Michelle McCool just in that neck crank. And Trish firing off some stomps. McCool able to get to her feet, and they lock up. And Trish backed into the ropes. Trish rebounds back and runs into a drop kick that's blocked. I do not play NBA 2K. I've not played one in a few years. The last one I played was 2K12, which I thought was really good. And Trish picking up Michelle. And a flapjack, dropping Michelle face first on the canvas. And Michelle holding her wrist there. Looks like she might have landed a little wrong. But Trish follows up with the DDT, not letting McCool regain composure. And there's a beautiful forearm that just staggers Michelle. And an Irish whip from Trish to Michelle. And another flapjack, barely missing the rope there. Could have turned that to a stun gun-like maneuver if she wanted to. Decided not to, and Trish working on the leg. Working on that leg. That's going to really affect Michelle McCool's offense. NBA 2K12 was the last good one. I actually lied. I did buy one in, I guess I bought 2K18. Which would have been, yeah, I got that in 2017. I only played it for a couple of hours. I didn't hate it, though. I thought it was fun. Trish Stratus missing the kick. And Michelle setting up for, what do we got here? Oh, a face first suplex. And Michelle Trish trying to climb the ropes, get in that turnbuckle, get composure, but she eats an Irish whip instead. And a knife edge chop from Michelle McCool. And a tree of woe set up from Michelle to Trish here. And Michelle fires off a stomp to the midsection. And we have NGW Battlefield. Battlefield Japan is this Sunday, live from the Crooked Hall. In Japan, Tokyo, Japan. We have a stacked show for you on that pay-per-view. We have a 6-man tag between Pentagon, Phoenix, and Kofi against Jushin Liger, Ultimo Dragon, and Kota Ibushi. We have the world title on the line, Kenny Omega defending against the Great Muta. We have a 2 out of 3 falls match. Liv Morgan and Hikaru Shida unifying the women's titles from AEW and NGW. We have an IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match. Will Ospreay defending that title against Hiroshi Tanahashi. This is going to be a show to watch, folks. You can order it, call your local cable provider, or order it on Bleacher Report. And Michelle McCool getting back in the ring. Going after Trish. And just slamming her head first into the canvas. And there's a pin from Michelle. And a kick out.
Come on, there's no way she'd let a move like that keep her down. Dynamic maneuver from Trish Stratus.
And an Irish whip into the corner from Trish to Michelle, but Michelle gets out of that corner and takes her back and picks her up and just drops her ribs on the knees. And now Michelle working on that arm. Trish hurt. Trish is hurting. Michelle might want to get on the offense here, take this win. A stomp right to the face for Michelle McCool. And Michelle misses that boot. Trish able to get a spine buster, spine of the pine. And we got a pinfall from Trish.
With authority. She's a warrior, guys. Here's Trish.
We're at the Hurricane Hall. And Trish with a no. Michelle dodges that Trish kick, the chick kick from Trish. Michelle dodges. Michelle able to break that grapple, but runs into a clothesline from Trish Stratus. The winner of this match, they increased the record to 2-0. They increased the record to 2-0. That's going to help them climb up that ladder. That's going to help them climb up the ladder and earn that women's title shot against our women's champion, Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan having a hell of a career in NGW. The only woman to defeat Alexa Bliss. And Michelle going to work on Trish Stratus' leg. Double knees to the leg there. And now Trish. Another backbreaker from McCool, and McCool stretching that back out over the knee. We still don't have a full list of who's in these Battlefield Battle Royals. There's going to be a lot of surprises. And oh, what is Michelle McCool? Well, I don't know what she called that. I'm calling it the Stylist Clash, though. Michelle had a different name for it, obviously. No, Trish kicking out. Very close for Michelle. Razor thin margin on that 3 count. But NGW is the best of all era. That's right, man. We the best. NGW, the best promotion of all time, baby. Better than All Japan Women's. Better than Ring of Honor. Better than New Japan. Better than Progress. Better than Over the Top. Over the Top's really good. Or I haven't really followed Over the Top in a while, but man. And Michelle McCool picking up a bit. Was it the Faith Breaker? What was what? Because she also did the Angel's Wings. It was the Faith Breaker. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know Michelle McCool like that. Michelle McCool is 2-0. Trish Stratus put up a valiant effort, but she ends up 1-1 in NGW. I'm not eating pancakes with ranch, you sicko. Why would you even ask something disgusting like that? I don't know why you would ask something like that. Okay, Craig O'Mac. Here we go. We got something for you, buddy.
What a win for her here tonight. If the other women knew what's good for them, they'll steer clear of this one. What a way to kick off tonight. Don't go anywhere, folks. We're just getting started.
We go backstage to an interview with Britt Baker where she's asked how she feels about her loss to Io Shirai. And Britt Baker replies, "How do I feel about my loss to Io Shirai? How the hell do you think I feel? I was 1 win away from getting my first title match in NGW. I'm pissed. But you know what? I'm also grateful. I'm grateful because I learned a very valuable lesson from that loss. It pays to have friends." What could Britt Baker mean with that statement? And then we get a Battlefield Japan video package. I don't have any music to play here. You know what we're going to play? We're going to play the Pride FC theme song from back in the day. We get a video package. It's highlights. It's highlights of both Liv Morgan and Hikaru Shida. And Liv Morgan starts off with the statement, "Hikaru Shida, I know who you are. I'm not afraid of you." And then in Hikaru Shida's piece, she says, "I have been the AEW Women's World Champion for over a year. I will continue my dominance going into NGW." And we continue playing highlights of their individual performances in their wrestling careers. And then both of them with the side-by-side say at the same time, "At Battlefield Japan, I will become the Unified Women's World Champion." And that leads us to our main event of the night. Cedric Alexander defending the television championship against Triple H. We have I Am Too Dumb For You with Cedric Alexander, Witch Doctor Billy, Triple H, our very own Witch Doctor. Pride FC is one of the greatest promotions of all time, man. I love Pride. That was my MMA promotion growing up. I want to see AEW or WWE in person. I've seen AEW 4 times live. 3 times, 4 times. I've seen All Out, Dynamite, and Revolution, so 3 times. What indies are you around? Not really any right now. Warrior Wrestling. Well, Warrior Wrestling still does shows, so yeah, Warrior Wrestling is about the only one I'm really around. I'm close enough to Warrior Wrestling that I've debated driving to see a couple of shows. Not during COVID, but back pre-COVID. The number 5 ranked Triple H. He's out here with Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels in his corner. Tyler Bate and Drew McIntyre, they lost the opportunity to be out here for Cedric. Disrespected no more. Sorry, Cedric. No allies no more because you're by yourself out here tonight, buddy.
He's won 2 Royal Rumbles in his career. He's a 14-time
Triple H looks all business tonight because he knows what's on the line tonight. What's on the line tonight is that NGW Television Championship.
The COO of WWE. Triple H has done it all.
Number 5 ranked, beating AJ Styles. He's had some good wins under his belt. What's up, world? Triple H has had some big wins under his belt in NGW, beating AJ Styles most recently. Right now, Triple H sitting at a record of 3-1, earning him the number 5 spot. The number 5 spot in the rankings. And Cedric Alexander, you have to think he's sweating bullets. He has to be sweating bullets. He thought tonight he'd have his brothers in arms, disrespected no more. Drew McIntyre and Tyler Bate in his corner. Turns out he doesn't. Instead, it's Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels out here with Triple H. And I have to admit, I just have to say, me personally, I'm hoping Cedric loses that title. I don't like his new attitude. I don't like this new persona. I don't like this new cockiness, this egotistical side of Cedric Alexander. I hope he learns a big lesson from the game Triple H tonight.
The age of Alexander is here.
And here he comes with that title, that television title, wrapped tightly around his waist. Look at that smile. Cedric pretending like nothing bothers him. But you know, in the back of his mind, he's realizing it's him with 3 other wrestlers out here tonight. It's him, Razor, Shawn, Triple H, 3 guys who all want their hands on Cedric.
It's fun to watch.
It sucks that you can't edit matches that are in progress. Or you can't edit matches with the universe being in progress. Because I would have totally thrown those 2 men. I would have thrown Shawn Michaels in Razor in Triple H's corner.
To wish everybody a happy new year. I like that attitude, Michael. Unfortunately, for one of these competitors, though, there's going to be nothing happy about how this year will start out. Yeah, and I've got to work another year.
And here we go. NGW Television title on the line. 60-minute time limit. The number 5 ranked Triple H against the television champion, Cedric Alexander. And Cedric starts dragging Triple H, but Triple H fires off some elbows, able to break out of that grapple.
When's the last time you checked your lumbar?
And a kick that Cedric blocks and an elbow to the knee. But Triple H counters with a right hand. And now Triple H with a crossface. But Cedric able to get his foot on that bottom rope to break that submission. Triple H climbing the top rope. This is how serious this match is. Triple H on the top rope with an elbow drop.
Piercing elbow.
Cedric hurt. Cedric is hurting. And now Triple H, backbreaker. Nope, backdrop, just a side slam. Just a side slam instead. Triple H is methodical. Triple H is tactical. Everything Triple H does has intention. He does it with reason. And Cedric throwing those kicks to the leg there. Those are going to hurt. You can't take too many of those. What pay-per-view do you wish you could go to? Money in the Bank 2011 would be probably on my list. WrestleMania 17. And, the WrestleMania with Bret Hart and Roddy Piper. Those would be my 3. I also wish there are a couple of Mid-South shows I would have liked to have seen live too. WCW-wise, give me the pay-per-view where Terry Funk and Ric Flair do the I Quit match. I would love to be there live for that. Cedric just taking control of Triple H here. Look at that beautiful submission from Cedric. Triple H not able to really reach those ropes from where he's at, and that's what Cedric wants. But instead, Triple H able to roll through and just kick Cedric off of him. And a snapmare from Cedric, followed by a kick right to the spine. But Alexander gets up, not liking that. Triple H on his shoulder, and he's just dropped. Oh, I want to see a Royal Rumble live, too. I've never been to a Royal Rumble. I thought we were talking, like, past shows, like, that I wish I could see live. If we're talking shows in general, Royal Rumble's on my bucket list, as is WrestleMania. I only have three shows on my bucket list: a Royal Rumble, a WrestleMania, and a Wrestle Kingdom. I pretty much have got to see everything else I've wanted to see. I've seen it. I've seen a Hell in a Cell live. I've seen multiple Money in the Banks live. Obviously, I've been at I was at All Out. I've been at Revolution, so I've got to see another major American promotion live. Oh, I'd love to go to a Battle of Los Angeles, too. That goes without saying. STO from Triple H. And Cedric has to roll outside of the ring. Michaels and Razor stepping back, not touching Cedric here, allowing Triple H to get his hands on him. And Cedric instead throws Triple H back into the ring. Good plan from Cedric. Well, actually, I don't know if that's a good plan or not. Cedric could easily take a count-out victory here. Instead, he takes a spine buster from Triple H. I agree, Annika. The energy from Royal Rumble would be fire. And Triple H with a pin. And Cedric kicks out at 2. Triple H is not wasting any time here on Cedric Alexander. Going to work on that arm. Cedric rolls through. Drop toe hold from Cedric. Cedric with a perfect counter. And Cedric has Triple H up. Brainbuster. Dropping Triple H flat on the canvas. And now Cedric got the pin. Jesus Christ, that ended quickly. Wow. Okay. Here's what I want to happen in this match. We got some big things happening. During the peak of this match, Triple H is in control. And Drew McIntyre and Tyler Bate show up on stage. They show up on stage. And Shawn and Razor go up the ramp to meet them. And it breaks into another big brawl. And the referee has to go outside of the ring to break these 4 men up. Cedric takes that opportunity to grab a chair. And he's ready to hit Triple H with it. But Jeff Hardy, who said the disrespected no more can kiss his ass, Jeff Hardy hits the ring and he takes the chair from Cedric. And Cedric turns around, he sees Hardy, and Cedric gets on his knees and begs no. He begs for Jeff Hardy not to hit him. And Jeff Hardy, he swings that chair back, swings it, and he hits Triple H with it instead. And he smirks at Cedric. Cedric smirks back. Hardy throws the chair out of the ring, slides out of the ring, and hides. Cedric then goes for the cover. Referee, the brawl goes to the back. Referee gets back in the ring, sees the pin. Cedric picks up a 3 count. Cedric retains the title, and the show ends with Jeff Hardy joining Disrespected No More. Cedric hands him a t-shirt, a Disrespected No More t-shirt. Jeff smiles, puts it on. We have a 4th person in Disrespected No More. It's Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy, welcome to the team. And that is the end of Shockwave.